personal foul.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
The Boston Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
Up on down. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
I don't know. It's tough. Tom's up there, man. Being tough.
Ladies and gentlemen, the battle for Boston.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to just get that laugh out because the front office staff of the Boston Red Sox are getting exactly what they deserve. I am sorry to you people who had faith in them, that believed what the front office staff was doing. I am sorry for you guys that you have to go through all this right now. I tried to tell you guys what this team is. I was called bandwagon, I was called this, I was called that, but I was right. I'm not gonna lie though, they're doing better than what I predicted them to be so far. They're doing a little bit better than what I thought they would be so far. So I'll give you guys that. And I feel bad for the players. I feel 1000% bad for the players. Because at the end of the day, I don't hate the players. Alright? I don't hate any of the players in the Red Sox. I don't even hate the coaching staff, to be honest with you. But I will say this in terms of the coaching staff. Cora, one of your best players is Alex Verdugo. Why are you giving him discipline? You know what I mean? You can't afford to bench one of your best players of the team. I don't care if he doesn't hustle or whatever. He's one of your best guys. He needs to be out there every single day. Why are you benching him? I feel bad for the fans. I feel bad for the players. I feel bad for the coaches. But I don't feel bad for the front office staff. That's why I'm laughing. That's why when you see me on Twitter saying, I'm sorry, but this is laughable, I'm laughing at the front office. Because the front office staff 1000% deserves what's happening to them right now. We're watching our boy, Red Seat Radio. The Red Sox are officially in a state of emergency. Yoshida, though, you know, Yoshida's been alright. Yoshida's been okay. I'd like to see him hit for a little bit more power, but he's been alright. My Padres aren't doing that great either. Bogarts went down with an injury. Again. I feel bad for the guy there, too. His wrist is acting up again. And until he had that wrist injury react up this year, he was on a tear. But when he messes up that wrist, he falls down a cliff. It sucks, man. It sucks. Padres got to do a little bit better, too. I'm not going to lie. The players right now haven't been playing to what they should be. So it's pain over here, too. It's pain over here, too. But I really do feel bad for the fans for the Red Sox. I feel bad for the players. And I feel bad for the coaching. If I didn't have any love for this team here, right, I'd be laughing at every single one of them. But my hatred and my amusement of their failure is just going to the front office staff. It's not going towards the players. It's going to the front office staff. Anyways, we're watching Red Seat Radio. He looks pissed, as you could tell from the beginning of this video here. He looks angry. You can see the red in his face, how angry he is. Tried to tell fans what this team was going to be. And it's only going to get worse from here because their schedule is going to get a lot harder as the season goes on. So this is the downfall right now with this team. This is where we will see if they will make a push towards being in it or they've given up. And we're going to touch on something in this video too. With JD, Eovaldi, and Wacha. We're going to touch on those three players later on in the video, too. So, leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoy these videos. Subscribe now if you guys are new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. The link's in the description down below. And this is a message straight to VYOM because I know VYOM is watching this entire video here. VYOM, I have not forgotten about your giveaway. As you can see, I have my work shirt on right now because I am still working. I am off next week. Next Thursday, I'm off of my 24/7 job It's taking time because I've been busy with my weekly job and I've been busy with my 24/7 job for 2 straight weeks. So next week is the final week that I'm on for that job. So once I am done with that, I will get working to get your package shipped. I have not forgot about you. I have to address that before people say, "Oh, he's a scammer." No. People are just busy with their lives, and I will get to it as soon as I can. So with that being said, without further ado, let's hop straight into this video.
Sound the alarms. Sound the alarms.
This guy predicted him to get 87 wins, something like that.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Sea Radio. Mike.
But I will say, though, this will be one of the only times I pause in this video. They are doing better than what I predicted them to be so far. They're doing a lot better than what I predicted them to be. Right now, they're on pace to be, what, 80 and 82? Better than what I predicted them at.
My name is Corbin, and honestly, I really did not think we'd be needing a State of the Nation address at the middle of June, not even at the halfway point of the season, but yet, here we are. The Boston Red Sox have officially dropped 3 series in a row. They are 3-7 in their last 10 games. They are now back under 500 for the first time in April after losing a series against the Cleveland Guardians this last couple of days, only able to take 1 out of 3 games. And if you like misery, you are going to love this series. It had everything. It had off-field issues, it had on-field issues, and it really does feel like the Red Sox are falling apart. So what we are going to do in today's video is we're going to break down this latest series. We're going to talk about everything that went on, what is attributing to the state of the Boston Red Sox right now, and how they could possibly pull themselves out of what is going on with.
This will never be my shortstop right here. Never. He will never be my shortstop. No way. Never.
This Red Sox team. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one.
Jersey.
Let's get into it. So what we normally do on these series recap / highlight videos is start with the offense, then go to the pitching and talk about the defense if we need to. But there was so much going on in this series. I think the best way to break this series down is to go game by game, because it really felt like game 1 was a completely different series than game 3. So let's start at game 1. And we saw James Paxton get the ball in the first game. And after a really rocky first inning, he managed to go 7 innings on 106 pitches.
I predicted last year that James Paxton was going to be a great signing for them. He looks good. He looks solid.
Just 2 earned runs on 6 hits. He did walk 2, which is fine, and he struck out 9. This is exactly what the Red Sox needed from James Paxton. With Chris Sale going down and everyone else sort of being all over the place besides Bayo, James Paxton really needed to step up in this series, and he did exactly that. It was exactly what this Red Sox team needed. As for the offense in this series, they showed up in this one, scoring 5 runs on 2 RBIs from Kike, who had an RBI single and an RBI walk, a RBI single from Rob Refsnyder, who was quite literally at this point the Freddy Krueger equivalent of left-handed pitchers, and an RBI single from Pablo Reyes, as well as a sac fly from Alex Verdugo, who, don't worry, we'll get to. Don't worry, we'll talk about him. As for the bullpen in this game, Chris Martin had a really rare implosion on the mound in the 8th inning. I'm still not really worried about him. I think that if everything was going right with the Red Sox right now, he finishes that 8th inning very cleanly. I think it's just a happen of circumstances. Everyone's sort of falling apart right now. It's going to happen to Chris Martin as well, right? Kind of sucking is contagious right now, it feels like, for the Red Sox. So I'm not worried at all with Chris Martin. Kenley Jansen had a really great save in this one. He was throwing 97. He did have a little bit of issue with his knee, but it doesn't seem to be a problem anymore. And it really feels like Kenley's finally pulling himself back together after that sort of weird stretch where he was all over the place. So game 1, a success, right? The Red Sox offense was able to give you 5 runs. The bullpen was able to keep the win together. They weren't as strong as you'd want them to be, but they were able to keep it together, and James Paxton gave you the outing you needed to have. Now let's move on to game 2. Game 2 saw Cutter Crawford start in more of an opener role. He went just 3 innings, allowing 2 runs on 5 hits and struck out 3. I'll keep saying this, hoping I can just say it into existence. If Chris Sale is going to be out for an extended period of time and you're looking for a 5-man rotation, I think the 5th man should be Cutter Crawford. I think he deserves this spot. I think he's a guy who has a lot of potential in the starting role, at least as a back-end type guy. And he was really sturdy throughout the entire 2023 season.
He's all right.
I say give him the position
as a number
Chris
5
Sale's
starter. he's
while.
pretty good.
As for the offense, there really wasn't much of it in this game. Rafi had an RBI single, which was great. Kike scored on an error, but outside of that, there really wasn't anything. On a bit of a side note too, Rafi just went 2 for 11 in this series with 2 walks, and this may be the most out of sorts we've seen Rafael Devers throughout his entire career so far. I don't know what's going on with him, whether it's a health issue, whether he's not fully healthy, maybe it's a mechanical issue, maybe it's just in his head, which is probably the answer, but it's not a coincidence that this Red Sox...
I think it's that. I really think it's in his head thinking he has to be the main load of this offense because he knows that he's the biggest power bat in that lineup. As before, you had Bogarts, you had JD. He didn't. The pressure wasn't really on him much to be that guy, but now the fact that he is that guy, he's the only guy really that can hit for power. He feels like he has to do it all. I think that's getting to him.
Sox offense got a little bit screwy once Rafael Devers stopped getting hot.
And that's why rosters like that don't work. Rosters like that don't work. Because you can easily walk Devers. Like, if Devers is hot, you can easily just walk him and face the next batter, and then it is what it is after that.
He is the lifeblood of this team, and I really, really just need Rafael Devers to come back to life here. As for the bullpen, Justin Garza really struggled in this game in his only appearance in this series, but the big story was
pitcher?
Chris
Call me
Murphy,
casual,
who
but
came
who?
in and
Who the is that guy? Who the is that? No damn well who I am. Who the is that?
going 3 1/3 inning, not allowing a single run, only allowing 2 hits in those 3 1/3 innings, 1 walk, and striking out 5. I think a lot of people were unsure of what Murphy was and what to expect from him at the big league level with his struggles in AAA this year, and I think he impressed a lot of people with this appearance. If the Red Sox are going to need lefty help going forward out of the bullpen, Chris Murphy right now seems like a legitimate option to at least give him a shot and see what he looks like. You do have a little bit of a period between when you option someone and when you can call them back up, so we won't see Chris Murphy for a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Red Sox give him a shot in the future here. And then we get to game 3, right, which started with the Red Sox calling up this PR disaster of a pitcher, Matt Dermody, which I simply do not understand. Regardless of where you stand on his issues off the field, it is just simply not worth setting off a debate and angering a big majority of your fan base over a guy who is a journeyman pitcher with a career above 5 ERA and a career negative WAR, right? It's just not worth it. Not only is he a PR disaster, he's just not a very good pitcher. Why are you putting your stake in setting off a debate within Red Sox Nation for a guy who was only able to go 4 innings, allowing 4 hits, 3 runs, and only striking out a singular batter, and then immediately DFAing him? I just don't get it. At this point, I think most Red Sox fans just want to watch watchable baseball and enjoy the players on the field, and in this game, you got neither.
Well, from the Rays series last weekend, definitely did not look like that. Do I have to play the clip? But no. No, maybe not.
Those because of the guy on the mound. It does not make any sense to me. Why take that risk? Why bring this guy up? Why not start Corey Kluber, or why not start Nick Pivetta? And obviously,
trust me, you don't want to start Corey Kluber. You don't want to start Corey Kluber. Why isn't Pivetta in the rotation either? That's a question I have. Why isn't it Pivetta the number 5? If you want to have a legitimate starter in the starting 5, like, if you want to argue with me that Cutter Crawford should be a long reliever, that's fine. But why isn't Pivetta there?
See, we'll get to Corey Kluber in a second, but if that was going to happen anyways, why not just start those guys and avoid this big hole mess? I just don't get it. I don't get what the Red Sox are doing right now.
I get what the point he's trying to say.
You also find out Alex Cora has decided to bench Alex Verdugo because he did not hustle out a double play in the second game of this series, which I know a lot of people were upset about, but I actually back Cora on this. If Alex Verdugo wants to be a leader of this team, he's going to set the tempo of this team. Whether he wants to be or not, he is a leader right now in this clubhouse, and if he's not hustling, what message does that send to everybody?
Okay, so that was the play right there. Because I was wondering, I was like, what is he, what, I was wondering, what is Cora talking about?
Alex Verdugo, because he did not hustle out a double play in the second game of this series, which I know.
Ooh, yeah.
A lot of people were upset.
See, that one's hard. That one's hard for me. I mean, there you don't think he's gonna go to second because look how the shortstop is positioned. Like, that's an injury waiting to happen. So I get like why he slows down here and doesn't want to hurt him. I get that. That one's hard, man.
Allowed a double play in the second game of this series, which I know.
Oh yeah, right. But right there though, yeah, you can see he kind of slows down.
Upset about, but I actually back Cora on this. If
I get what Cora's trying to do, but like, you're in last place, buddy. You can't afford to bench guys like Verdugo right now.
If Alex Verdugo wants to be a leader of this team, he's going to set the tempo of this team. Whether he wants to be or not, he is a leader right now in this clubhouse, and if he's not hustling, what message does that send to everybody else? He needs to be helped.
But if Cora benches one of his best players, then what message does that send to his players? It's like, do you want to win, or what's the deal? Like, we're in a tight race right now to try and get to the playoffs. Why are you benching one of our best guys? If it was me, I would have played him. So,
held to a higher standard than what
that's
everyone else is held to because of where he wants to be with this team. He wants to be a leader. He's going to be treated like a leader. And if you're not going to be hustling and you're not going to be setting a good example, fine. Sit on the bench and figure it out and come back and really be that leader you want to be. I fully back Alex Cora on this. I know some people are going to disagree, so let me know in the comment section down below. What did you think of Alex Cora benching Alex Verdugo? As for the offense in this series, again, very few positives. Jarren Duran's still slumping a bit, but you can start to see the adjustments he's made, and that is huge. He had a double in this game and an RBI. He looked really good at the plate in this game alone. Again, still slumping overall, but you could see those adjustments start to be made. Casas actually had a really great series. He hit a home run in this game. It was the only home run by a Red Sox player in this entire series. Hopefully we start to see some home run power come back with Duvall coming back. Hopefully Rafi can figure it out, and if Triston Casas can get a little power going, that would be fantastic. Triston Casas is looking much better at the plate, regardless of what Dave O'Brien is saying about Triston Casas every time he gets up to the plate. But Triston Casas is looking much more comfortable at the plate, and you're starting to see those results that we've been wanting to see from Triston Casas in this series. So that was a really great sign. As for the bullpen, Corey Kluber is the biggest story out of the bullpen, right? He managed to go 3 1/3 inning, allowing 11 total hits and 7 earned runs while only striking out a single batter. But
he's a BP
he
pitcher.
only walked one guy too, so
they're hitting cage bombs off him.
There. I'm all set on Corey Kluber, right? I've been pretty adamant about, hey, you can't DFA a really storied veteran super early in the year. You're not really super early in the season anymore.
Why can't you do that? If he's not producing like you expect him to, why can't you DFA him? Veteran, yeah, he's a veteran, but like, this veteran's not doing you anything right now. He's hurting your team more than helping it. Why can't you DFA him?
There is, I think, enough precedent to move on from Corey Kluber and DFA this guy. He just simply does not have it. He just simply cannot figure it out. And I do hope for Corey's sake that he could figure it out somewhere else. It just can't be here, right?
Oh, is he finally? Oh, is he saying that now?
Super early in the season anymore. There is, I think, enough precedent to move on from Corey Kluber and DFA this guy. He just simply does not have it. He just simply cannot figure it out. And I do hope for Corey's sake that he could figure it out somewhere else. It just can't be here, right? It simply cannot be with the Red Sox anymore. And as much as I feel bad for Corey Kluber, he just doesn't have a place on this team. In total in this series, it's just all over the place right now. It doesn't feel like a single portion of this team is on the right page, and it feels like everyone is just playing off. It doesn't feel like anyone's locked in besides Masataka Yoshida, who just consistently hits the ball. It's just what he does. But outside of Masa, it really doesn't feel like anyone else is playing at a consistent level. And what do you do to fix this? I honestly have no idea. Adam Duvall is coming back today, which is nice. We'll have a video on that later today at some point. So maybe Adam Duvall can come into this locker room and tell these guys, hey, I joined the Braves in 2021 when they were a below 500 team at the deadline. I was a guy who came in, and this is the mindset we were in going forward throughout the rest of the season that completely turned our season around. Maybe there's a speech in there somewhere that gets these guys going. Maybe Adam Duvall is the spark plug we've been missing, or maybe he just starts hitting home runs and still we can't figure it out anywhere else. I honestly don't know what the solution is to this problem, but it's something that needs to be fixed, and it needs to be fixed now. You are now just 2-5 on the month, and this is the most important month of the season. This is the month where you decide, are you a competitor or are you just wasting another year of Red Sox baseball? This is the month, and right now it's not looking so great. So the Red Sox need to put it together, and they need to put it together now. We're officially in a state of emergency of the Boston Red Sox, but that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of the Red Sox right now? Do you think they're in a state of emergency like me? Are you still kind of like, whatever, it's fine, I'm over it? What are you feeling about the Boston Red Sox right now? Let me know all your thoughts on the Red Sox latest series in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.
I'll support that. Go subscribe to the Red Seat Radio. If you like Red Sox content, make sure you go follow him. Tell him your boy sent you here. I feel bad for Sox fans. I really do. The front office staff lied to them. If they do somehow make it to the playoffs, right, I will say this, the very least, and I will say this confidently, they are not World Series contenders. They're just not. And based off of what I heard from the front office staff before the season even began, right, that they were in this to win a World Series. Bloom said that. John Henry said that. Sam Kennedy said that. The whole crew, the whole front office staff said that, right? I'm playing hard on them. I'm playing hard on them. If they don't win a World Series, it's a failure. And they lied to their fans. You want to argue with me if they make it competitive in the ALCS? If they somehow get there, right? We'll have the debate. If they make it to the postseason and they get blown out in one of these first two series, failure. That's just as bad as them not making the playoffs. And when people were seeing me wear these San Diego Padres gears for the first time, whatever, right? They were saying, so if the Red Sox make it to the playoffs, are you coming back as a Sox fan? I said, no. They're telling fans that they want to compete for a World Series, so I need to see that. If they don't, it's a failure. And they lied to their fans. Then they were trying to tell me, so, were the front office staff right if they do make the playoffs or whatever? Like, I was thinking to myself, really? We're celebrating making the playoffs now? You celebrate making the playoffs if your expectations were low. Like in 2021, I expected them to win the wild card game and then maybe be competitive in the first round, but lose. They went to the ALCS and they made it competitive against the Astros. That was a successful season. But if we're now all of a sudden going to celebrate making the playoffs, what have we become as a fan base? We want to be competing for championships. Otherwise, it's a failure. Being competitive in an ALCS to get to the World Series, to me at least, that's competing for a championship. Anything less of that is a failure. So if you get swept in the ALCS, that is a failure season. And I was going to mention JD, Nate, and Walker. I'm going to do that right now. They are having phenomenal seasons. JD has about 15 home runs with the Dodgers right now. Batting a good batting average. The RBI numbers are good. The slugging percentage is good. Whatever, right? They let him walk. I know I said I could see them walking from JD. I get that. I won't fault them for that one as much. But I will for these next two names. Nathan Eovaldi and Michael Walker. Walker, once again, having a nice season on the mound. Why? Because the Red Sox did not want to give him a multi-year contract. Nathan Eovaldi, when healthy, our best pitcher, Red Sox didn't want to give him the contract that he wanted. So he waits it out, and he decides to go home to Texas. Nathan Eovaldi this year is on pace to win the American League Cy Young Award. Their best two pitchers when healthy last year. They did not want to pay them. When I was recording this video, I forgot the main point that I was bringing up with JD, Nate, and Waka as well. You guys can definitely let me know in the comments down below. But with how good JD, Nathan Eovaldi, and Michael Waka has been this season so far, could it be possible that the Red Sox just gave up on this front office staff and they did not want to play for them anymore because of how cheap they were, how they don't want to make winning moves for the franchise or whatever? Do you think that they just gave up on them after last season? Let me know in the comment section down below. Imagine if you had a rotation right now with Nathan Eovaldi, Michael Waka, Bayo, Paxton, but just those four guys alone. I mean, the other one's Chris Sale, obviously, but he's injured, so he didn't cross my mind. Imagine those four guys alone. Imagine if those four guys alone is your pitching staff. That's elite. That is solid. You have Nate as your number 2 pitcher. If Chris Sale was healthy, you'd have him as your number 1, obviously. You have him, Nate, Waka, or Paxton, one of the two. And then your number 5 starter in Bayo, that is a solid starting 5. Two words, Chaim Bloom. Thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoy these videos. Subscribe now if you guys are new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. Links in the description down below. Go subscribe to the Red Seat Radio. His link will be in the description as well. It's been your boy Jesse. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.